Welcome back to the Red Bull Analyst Desk. Wes, what do you got to say about that game?
Well, yeah, that is putting me on the spot a little bit. Well, like I said, we know that this is a bit of a discrepancy in rank here. No surprises there. This is the expected result. I do want to say, Darren, I picked the right player to watch because Rico
Yeah.
Rodriguez was the standout for sure. I think he has kind of been that all season long. Rico Rodriguez has got some nice instincts in the jungle, and he's up against Sean, who's just got such good fundamentals here and such good strengths. But it was all about Harley and Murphy. Come on, that Kog'Maw Lulu, they play it so well. They know Harley is their star player. They know Harley is the carry, and they put him on the hyper carry there. Jinx getting banned out. He's like, no problem. I'll pick up the Kog'Maw. I'm going to 1v5. And yeah, with the ornament at the end coming in, I heard our casters mention it, and it was just so intense how much damage Kog'Maw was doing. So, yep, impressive stuff there from Casually Reformed, and they do take the first game. So this next game is going to be elimination on the line for Weasel Teasers. We got a bunch of Weasel Teasers fans in chat. Everybody's showing out your support. I love to see it. Keep it coming because I know they're having a good time in this league so far. So we are going to get into game two pretty soon. It's going to be switching over. So Casually Reformed is going to be on the blue side, or on the red side now.
Well, I'm going to be really interested in the draft for Weasel Teasers here, the bans specifically. It's tough to ban enough against Casually Reformed.
Hmm.
Um, in my opinion, you take the Lulu away, you take away that kind of bot lane, but then again, you let Murphy go on Thresh or something like
Mm-hmm.
that, and let the Jinx go through. You're still gonna have a hard time. Do you think that Rico, as you said, and I agree,
Mm-hmm.
was the best? It played the best that game on Weasel Teasers. Do you think it's just like a bunch of roams from Rico? Maybe Chovy Lover takes a Twisted Fate or something, like just go help that bot lane?
Well, here's the thing that I would like to see, and it's partly coming down to Casually Reformed a little bit. I would love to see them let Rico onto the Viego. See if he can get a couple of resets. See if he can pop off a little bit because putting them onto a Viego, getting into a carry jungle, get some power farming in, maybe bring up some ganks. Viego's quite nice to play in terms of mid game team fights as well. I would love to see them prioritize that now that they've got blue side and see if they can get Rico on that. But of course, Tactical Lover and Indy had a lot of trouble down the bot lane. There is the potential you can take away the Lulu as well because that activates all the champions Harley loves to play.
Yeah, I really think. I mean, there are other supports that can do that. Like a Nami, something like that, or even throwing Morgana in the bot lane. I know she's much stronger in the jungle right now, but um, there are champions that can still help those hyper carries. But Lulu definitely is the strongest. Um, that mid lane also, I thought that was going to be a little bit closer this game.
Mm.
Chovy Lover has shown some really good play in the past. Just really, we were talking off stream about how Seraphine can be a pretty good pick against Galio, and it just wasn't in the cards for Chovy Lover this last game.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to shout out Sean playing the Morgana, S tier jungler right now. So good. And a lot of presence was found for Sean in the mid lane there. So that definitely helped out. But of course, yeah, Galio, if you've got a bit of a killer instinct on Galio, and we know Royal on these bruisers, like I said, definitely has that, then you can really may do some damage to a squishy caster over in the mid lane. So as we wait for some players for players to come back, looks like they are about to get into the draft. But I will also shout out Rico one more time because Did you see how early he got that transformation? I didn't catch if the casters talked about it, but pre 10-minute Red Cane transformation with only two melee champions. Yeah, that is the definition of int for form, and it's something I totally love to do on Kane as well. So shout out to Rico for that. Just got to call out my fellow Kane players here. And we do have the draft coming in, and there you go. Weasel Teasers going for the hyper carries. I really would like to see a Lulu for the third ban, though, because that is what, I'm not, if they don't ban it, I don't think they're giving enough credence to how much effect Murphy had on the game with that Lulu activating the Kog'Maw.
Yeah, and I mean the top side of the map for Casually Reformed, Daniel, Sean, and Royal, they're strong for sure. They're strong, um, but it's the bot lane every time. So if you end up leaving some of those champions open for the top half of the map, there, you're probably there's a higher chance that they can win the game, or at least not have a blowout like that than
Mm.
leaving open the bot lane. So I am surprised that they didn't do the Lulu ban here. We have a Gnar ban coming out from Weasel Teasers as the final one, but we'll see what happens. And Viego's gone. Sorry,
Come
your dreams
on.
are crushed.
Come on. Let him on it. Well, we'll see. We'll see what he goes for. Of course, the Kane did look good, but they definitely have to shore up those lanes here. So, Weasel Teasers with the priority pick. We'll see what they go for. They're going into the Tristana this time. And so, of course, Tristana very, very good in the meta right now. Very high priority pick, especially in kind of high tier competitive play. So, if we can get Tactical Lover living up to his name, getting some tactical plays and maybe some aggression on that Tristana, they could make something happen down in that bot lane, but Casually Reformed taking their time, and they are definitely looking forward to next week when they face up, if they win here, when they face up against George Foreman Grill. Casually Reformed and George Foreman Grill have gone back and forth all season long. They've been neck and neck in the standings. So Casually Reformed maybe wanting to pull out, maybe wanting to get some reps because they are looking to forward in the playoffs. They want to take care of this game and maybe get some reps on some champions they're interested in playing in the future of the playoffs here.
Yeah, and the Xin Zhao coming out here. I know that the Xin got some buffs recently, a couple patches ago, maybe.
Somewhat
Seen him,
recently, yep.
yeah, like small changes. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen him played a bit. I'm not very familiar with what those changes are. I've hardly
Sure.
played up against him. Um, is he a strong jungler right now?
I mean, he's not a super meta jungler, but that W change in particular, getting that really, really long range slow and damage, you max it on Xin Zhao in a lot of cases, and that's going to be a very interesting one. But look at this. They're putting Rico onto the Lilia, and that's not a champion we've seen in quite a long time. Lilia, not the strongest jungler right now in the meta, but still can take over a game if you get a bunch of kills on her, start that AoE going. Yorick is well picked up. This is something we've seen from Shrek's cousin. Likes to play those sort of weak side farming split pushers, and so that's going to face up against a Renekton for Daniel, and that's a very tough matchup. But, Yorick can make something happen. It's just that Daniel on Renekton, very, very strong, and Renekton can turn into a huge bully currently.
Yeah, I was gonna say, obviously with Yorick, you're waiting to kind of get to later in the game and just like push, 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 split, push, split, push. But if the Renekton stomps you in lane,
Mm-hmm.
then that's a lot harder. The Katarina ban coming in from Casually Reformed and a Kali ban from Weasel Teasers. And I gotta say, bot lane's gonna be fire because Murphy has his Thresh.
Thresh is on to Murphy, and that is definitely going to be some pick potential. They have a bunch of pick potential right now. Casually Reformed, all three of these champions are really suited to the mid game. They're very, very good in those skirmishes, getting control around objectives. More of a scaling situation for Weasel Teasers right now, and not a lot of team fight potential just yet. Besides that, Lilia. So Tristana, of course, does well there, but has to scale up quite a bit. And in the mid game, you're really, really struggling running into the Renekton Xin Zhao combo, and then of course Thresh in lane, very, very destructive. So Bard ban does come out. Casually Reformed not wanted to face that in the support role. Akali and Echo are banned away. Those are targeted at Royal because the mid lane is yet to pick. Here's the Kai'Sa coming in. We've seen Harley pop off on the Kai'Sa already, and Kai'Sa Thresh, a very different look here, but still a hyper carry in its own right.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I'm like, we don't know if that Tristana is mid or bot, but it's
Mm-hmm.
looking like it is in fact bot lane with a
Yep.
Galio support.
Yep, this is Galio support. So definitely
Yeah.
a strong pick. It's interesting because those are the two champions who don't have much control over how the lane is, how the lane minions are positioned. You don't have a lot of precision when it comes to are we pushing or are we freezing here. Both champions doing a lot of AoE. So it's kind of an interesting combination here, but also very, very good in those all-in engages. Can definitely take down a squishy Kai'Sa pretty quickly if you get the right engage. Cassiopeia rounding it out. Cassiopeia into Irelia. A very interesting matchup coming in here. Gonna be pretty difficult for Chovy Lover on the Irelia, but if he can get an early kill, maybe get an early presence from Lilia, definitely going to be a volatile mid lane there.
Yeah, and I really like the Cassiopeia as far as scaling is concerned to throw it in there because you have the Tristana. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that Yorick scales pretty well just with the pushing
Just a big
power.
split pusher. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely outscales the
Um,
Renekton.
yeah, yeah. So, but then the Cassiopeia coming in, and Kaisa's fine, but I don't think she scales
Mm-hmm.
as well. So the Cassiopeia coming in to give that scaling to then if it goes to late game, it may not. What do you think about these team comps? Specifically, Weasel Teasers team comp here.
Yeah, I mean, Weasel teasers definitely do trend towards comfort picks, and I think it's the right call to do so. So sometimes their drafts look a little wonky. This one, it definitely, like you say, the scaling is there. There's some team fight potential as well. Irelia with Galio pairs up pretty nicely, as well as Tristana with Galio, and there's early duels. But there's a bit of a mismatch here. I mean, a little bit of lots of team fighting potential with a Yorick split push is kind of the type of thing they want to go for. But in terms of team fighting, Casually Reformed just have you beat. They have so much potential to pick out one character and take them down very quickly, and they've got that scaling, that huge AoE ultimate with the Cassiopeia. So Casually Reformed looking to fight early and often here.
Absolutely. And we will see very shortly who wins game 2 of Casual Reform versus Weasel Teasers. Just after a few minute break, we're going to send it over to Natural and Stefano. Don't go in.
Welcome back to our second game of the day. This is elimination game for Weasel's Teasers. If Weasel's Teasers lose their game, not only do they lose the series, but they also are out of playoffs. Now, this is an extremely crucial game, and for this extremely crucial game, we have some extremely crucial picks. We have this Aurelia mid for Chovy Lover. I know Chovy Lover loves his high skill cap champions. We'll have to see if he actually managed to use them. Especially, that's going to be difficult into a Cassiopeia, of course, with that miasma. Very difficult. Funky, tell me, what are your predictions for this game?
Um, my predictions is I think it's going to be a little bit more of the same. I would especially keep track of bot lane. I think
Yeah.
that Kog'Maw Lulu don't really have any agency to force, but with something like Thresh Kaisa, there is so much ability on Murphy to both force engages bottom lane, but also then roam and get other lanes snowballing. So I'd keep a huge eye on Um, Murphy, and as well, I'd keep an eye on the mid lane just because Chovy Leopard does have the Ignite versus the Teleport in the mid lane. There's definitely, although as you said, it is a very hard matchup because of that miasma. It is definitely possible for Chovy Leopard to do some Irelia things and just 100-0 people.
Absolutely, the Aurelia things are possible, but they're going to be difficult. And that bot lane, as you mentioned, very strong. Kind of interesting, actually. Harley and Murphy, instead of taking the free level 1, are going to fake a leash. I don't like that much. I think fake leashing is very overrated. If you get that level 1, you should get the level 1 advantage. Harley and Murphy here. One thing about the Kaisa Thresh lane that's very strong is that you can pretty much get a guaranteed level 2. Because Kaisa can one-shot that wave with her Q. You just auto ranged creeps twice and melee creeps thrice, and then you Q, and they all die. So it's very easy to get that level 2. And as we see, as I was talking about, here comes the level 2, and it looks like Weasel are not respecting the level 2. The hook is going to land. And Tactical Lover here, he might just be dead. He's going to die to the Ignite, and that's first blood going over to Murphy.
Yeah, as you were saying it, we were counting the minions, but Weasel Teasers was apparently not. DR just getting the level 2 spike, and Weasel Teasers not noticing Indy actually went in with the W right before the level 2, so that's going to be a very easy kills. It was both flash and heal burned by Tactical Leopard, so it's going to be very easy for someone like Thresh to capitalize on that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, not only the summer advantage is, of course, the first blood going to feel very good on Casually Reformed. And this is the lane that we talked about that has so much agency in this team. Harley and Murphy have been pretty much hard carrying their team, not to take anything away from the rest of the team as they have been playing very solid League of Legends, as we see a bit more trading here in the top side. It looks like Daniel is just going to be put in the baby cage. The death sentence lands on Indy. He actually finds a double taunt, which is pretty good, but does he actually... Tactical does not have the damage to actually follow that up with. And Murphy and Harley are going to walk away. Murphy didn't even actually need to expend his flash. Well, now all of the summoners on the side of Weasel's Teaser's bot lane are down.
Yeah, though it was a good attempt by Indy. I think Tactical Lover maybe could have forced it. They tried to jump out with the WE set, but even still, costing both your sums is just going to make you easy to kill, especially as a champion like Galio. If Galio gets hooked, he really doesn't have a way out of that scenario. Um, Same with Tristana because the Thresh Flay is so powerful in being able to interrupt their dashes. So it's definitely going to be very volatile in the rest of this bot lane. Weasel Teaser is going to have to be very careful not to overextend like Royal is now.
He's a little too far forward into the lane, but Rico Rodriguez doesn't exactly have the damage to 1v1 a Castro just now. And the flash in from Sean is very aggressive, but he's not going to find the kill onto Rico Rodriguez. He escapes with 1 HP. Royal also, he's very low now, but Chovy Lover, he already used his Ignite, so he will not find the kill. And that's just going to be summoners expended on both mid jungle, on both teams. As the death sentence finds Tactical in between the minions, threading the needle. Does Harley have the damage? Yes, he does. Those final plasma stacks will claim the life of Tactical Lover. And now Indy, he's running for his life, but I don't think his life is worth much more as the double kill comes in for Harley. And Rico Rodriguez, no, he was standing on a ward and he gets invaded, actually, excuse me, by the Xin and dies. And, it's a little slower, I guess, of a pace of the last game, but, as you said, Funky, this might just be more of the same.
Yeah, to the arena with the Lilia Xin Zhao taking her down so easily, and now this is where the game gets very hard for Lilia. Xin Zhao already had the advantage in the 1v1, but with that kill, we're probably going to see him go towards this lethality build that we've been seeing Zin's go with the Eclipse, and that's going to give him the ability to one or two shot the Lilia. Going to be very hard to deal with the snowballing Zin on top of this 2-0 Kaisa in the bottom lane. Already has Noon Quiver, 20 CS up, and I'm thinking that the next time she's going to be 3 kills up is when she gets to lane.
Yeah, pretty much. As Harley and Murphy, of course, talk of the town, as they are extremely powerful and have been terrorizing this league, especially Murphy's Thresh, has basically achieved legendary status, in my opinion. As looking for a bit of an engage here. The Flay will be used to cancel the E. Very well done there. The interaction, Murphy knows it, and Indy's just going to die. And as you said, a third kill, unfortunately not over to Harley. Murphy will pick up his second kill. But yeah, your prediction was correct, Funky.
Yeah, I mean that was very well timed by Murphy. He didn't even do it in a front angle. He just took him completely out sideways. And now there is the 2v1 bottom lane. They can easily look for the dive here. They don't have the ignite up, but they have a lot of damage. But instead, it looks like they're just going to farm plates, which is probably the safer call. Matt.
Yeah, pretty much they can pretty easily take plates. Of course, the Thresh there enabling AD carries to take plates more easier with the Lantern, just in case they get yanked. But at this point, Weasel's Teasers, you have to find an advantage somewhere else on the map. This bot lane is not going your way. You have to get someone fed. Maybe in the top lane, but the CS lead is already pretty rough. I feel like Chovy Lover at this point is your last chance. I think he's your last shot at not only getting a game 3, but hopefully getting into playoffs or advancing into semifinals. I feel like Chovy Lover is their last chance.
Yeah, Chovy level is still 0-0-0. He's actually up 10 CS.
Yep.
He did force the flash out on Royal. He does have the ignite up. Level 7 as well, so the ultimate is available. So definitely a possibility. As we see Murphy as well as Sean converging around mid, but Sean instead is just going to look for the counter jungle and take the blue buff away.
Yep. Sean very comfortable now in this 1v1, as you said, and can pretty much take whatever he wants, because Lilia has no way of contesting Xin Zhao unless there's some kind of rotation and collapse from the other teams of Weasel's Teasers, but it's not looking like Weasel's Teasers have control of much lanes besides the top lane. This Daniel here, he's getting pushed in by a lot of creeps and the Yorick. As this Rift Herald looks to be starting up by Sean as well as Royal. Nothing much that they can do for that, but it's time to trade for something else on the map. You know that they're doing that, but unfortunately nothing is being done. They're just kind of losing objectives around the map without making proactive plays, and that makes me really worried.
No, it's fine. Lily's got Krugs now. She said about to hard carry with these Krugs buff. But we see now Indy going in. He's gonna get hooked and beaten up for his troubles.
Yeah, that sentence is pretty good, and okay, the explosive shot will push away Harley and Murphy for now, but Rico Rodriguez here, he might be looking for a gank. The Swirl C doesn't find the target. Indy, he's looking for an engage again. The taunt will find both, but there's no damage, and the death sentence lands on Rico Rodriguez. What a sniper. The sleep comes down, but it doesn't matter because the Icathian Rain is more than enough to take the kill as Tactical Lover. He's going to get poisoned as well as Eid repeatedly to the face. Ooh, Royal going in for a flash. Okay, a bit of a cheeky spacing there from Tactical Lover. I don't think that was intentional, but he baits Royal back in, and Royal doesn't manage to finish the kill off as the healer was still there. Tactical Lover gonna manage to run away with his life on for now, but yeah, I don't know if that's really going to stop the dominant casualty reform that we've now seen for 2 early games.
Yeah, it was good the tactical lover got away, only having to expend the heal there. But even with Royal TPing down, Toby Lover wasn't able to get any bonus place off that. Because Sean did show up mid and caught the wave. Sean is definitely going to be strong enough to 1v1 the Aurelia, especially under tower at this point in the game. So wasn't even able to punish that TP properly. So just good play overall by Sean and by Royal to make sure that they're covering that and not giving the Aurelia like this extra farm and gold in the form of plates.
Yep, as we see Weasel Season now, they're actually starting the Dragon. Casualty Reform don't have vision of this. Now they do. They know it's going down, but since Sean is on the other side of the map, there we go. Weasel's Teasers now making a proactive play. I like to see it. They take the first dragon of the game. That's going to be okay. But again, it's just one dragon, and it's at 11 minutes. So getting that early soul isn't really something that you can look forward to. As, ooh, you gotta watch out, Tactical. Those hooks are a death sentence for sure.
I see
One
what you
hook
did
at this
there.
point is a kill.
Yeah, and I think it was the first hook he missed all game. And
That we saw, at least, yeah.
yeah, I mean that we've seen, and it would have hit Tactical Lover had Tactical Lover move. I don't think Tactical Lover even knew the hook was coming out, so it was just wide. Murphy outthinking his opponent accidentally and missing the hook from it, but now he got one lined up. All right, come
That's
on,
another
Murphy. I
list.
just did the spot for you. Come on, man. All right,
Tactical Lover. Oh, excuse me, Joey Lover here. Man, he had the 5 stacks. He had the ultimate. Then flashes down on Royal. It's time to make a play, Joey Lover. Come on, please.
Hey,
I'm sorry. The desperation
30
in my
CS
voice.
Yeah, there's some tragic coaches vibes right there. Natural, like, oh, we talked about this. This is when you do it, but unfortunately, Chovy Lover not gonna make it happen. Murphy though, going with the hook.
Okay, well, standing still and eating a death sentence is not the way you want to go. As Harley dives in, uses the killer instinct, and that's just going to be another kill down to Harley. Harley and Murphy here, the power couple of this league, if I say so myself. Just absolutely dominating. As Rico Rodriguez here, he's a little caught out. He's going to get caught out by the Xin W. Sean is going... Okay, Chovy Lover, let's go. He's in the miasma, but he gets stunned. Does he actually have the damage to find the reset? The Ignite is ticking, but the Zonias will be used, and he temporizes the all-in. And maybe this is why Chovy Lover didn't go for that all-in earlier. And now it is a 10-0 on the side of Casually Reformed.
Yeah, mechanically, it was nice from Chovy Lover. He got the alt flash, so that's channeling your alt and flashing while it's still in animation to get the shortcut. As I get interrupted by top lane. I don't know, they're just doing the normal thing, but even still with Chovy Lover using the mechanics, he landed his stun, the stopwatch was there, and it was just a little bit too deep for him. I understand the desperation of trying to make a play like that, so I don't fault Chovy Lover for that, but just a little bit too deep in the end.
Rico Rodriguez here, he might just be dead as, are you looking at your screen? I'm not sure, but
He
it
was
doesn't
looking at
matter
top
anyways.
Yeah.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Anyways, if you're walking there, you're dying there. As Sean takes another kill, the baby cage is gonna come through for Shrek and gonna protect himself there. I'm just gonna pretty much I don't know. Can we call the baby cage the swamp for
Yeah, I think that's
for
fair.
Shrek? I think
Uh,
that's pretty fair. It does look kind of like a swamp.
I mean, at that point though, it's kind of like it's not like get out of my swamp. It's get in my swamp. You know,
Stay
you gotta
in my
keep
swamp.
them in the
Yeah,
W. Yeah.
Joey
Oh.
Lover, he finds the E, the miasma comes down, and this is the frustrating interaction that we were talking about. Joey Lover not having that Vanguard's edge to finish that kill off on Royal. Bit of emoting back and forth. And man, I really hope to see Chovy Lover get at least one kill, man. Come on, you can do it. That's
You know,
yeah.
he definitely has the ability to notice, but he's also the only person that's like up on CS.
Yeah.
He's probably up on gold is as well. It's that far enough. So Chovy Lover doing a great job so far, even when with his team being 0-11. He's doing well for himself. He's winning his he's quote unquote winning his lane. Um, he hasn't been able to make a lot of plays around the map, but they're so far behind. So well played to Chovy Lover so far in this game as Murphy tries to predict the W, but goes just wide. You know, every single hook, or almost every single hook after I said he hasn't missed, he's missed. Like, that's fully my fault.
Yeah, pretty much. Stop caster cursing it.
Mm.
You're gonna ruin the narrative that he's really good. And there we go. That's where we're talking about the death sentence. Finds another kill on Tactical Lover as Daniel is put to sleep. But you can't put asleep the crocodile for long enough as he finds a return kill on Rico Rodriguez. And Sean, he's coming in. Flash, W, miss. He dashes in. And will they actually have the damage to finish his tower dive off? I don't know. Sean, okay, he's not going to take that final turret shot. And Shrek, you gotta get out of this swamp, man. This isn't your swamp no more. Daniel, no, he doesn't find the last auto attack. And Shrek, I lied. Maybe it is your swamp. No, it is not, as Sean finds the last W, the last tiny bit of damage to claim the kill. And Shrek doesn't manage to dodge that one, and that's going to be the kill going over to Sean. But the first kill for Weasel's Teasers, yay!
Yeah, you know what? That wasn't horribly played by the top lane by Shrek's cousin. But before I get into that, now it's going to be a 2v3.
Okay, maybe Murphy and Harley here finally a little too far forward. He takes a blast plant over the wall. Tactical Lover,
Dragon?
I believe he had his W, but he's not. He decides not to go in. And it looks like they're just going to be out for now. Man, come on, guys. Come on, Weasel Caesars. You could do it. I believe in you. I am a believer.
CSA unbiased commentary to the max. Also very professional. So
Yeah.
anyway, back to that conversation about Shrek.
Absolutely.
No, as we do get focused back on the game net, we see Dragon up, but of course Weasel Teaser's not in a position where they can contest it. And it doesn't even look like Kaji Reformed is going to bother with it. They're going straight for the jugular. Galliot comes in.
Sean here, he might be a little too far forward. The miasma is on the ground, so Chovy Lover doesn't get the instant Q off. No, they don't manage to find the damage onto Sean, and that's just going to be a double kill for Harley. He actually dives in with a tactical, onto Tactical Lover with the Killer Instinct. Murphy gonna tank a few turret shots, but he's so tanky. Probably just accumulated so much souls and gold. As now this first turret might be going down. Excuse me, not the first turret, just the tier 1 turret in the mid lane for Casually Reformed. And now it's looking like a Harley diff. What can I say? I mean, the guy is 7-0-3, has 2 items on his Kaisa. And now this second Drake is most likely going to go their way.
You got higher KP than the support, and it looks like he's going to add another one to that.
Very close, and the Collector with the red buff is actually going to claim it. That is absolute tragedy. That Collector plus red buff combo. It's sneaky, man. If it gets you below that 5%, you're gone.
Yeah, that's probably got to be the worst possible way to die in League of Legends, is getting collected after a red buff, after a dot on a character that doesn't have a dot. That feels bad. 8-0 on the Kaisa. And now it looks like Indy gonna bit off more than he can chew here.
And he's in a bit of trouble. Sean here, he's going back in onto Tactical Lover, and the damage is really insane. Tactical Lover might actually die to the red buff. No, he doesn't. He sneaks away with barely 1 HP as Harley here. Nice, cleaning a ping cord. That's pretty good. Got to get your vision score up, a little more up. And looks like Casually Reformed, they're just chilling. They're just chilling in their jungle. They have nothing to do. They've taken literally everything off the map, as now they're just waiting for Weasel's Teasers to misstep.
Yeah, I mean, well played by CR. They don't have to. They don't have to push their advantage too much. They're so far ahead. They can just keep crashing minions and slowly taking towers. Towers and Weasel Teasers doesn't really have an opportunity back in this game as long as CR stays grouped up. There's not anyone on Weasel Teasers that can really split push and get a farm advantage at this point. Is Sean?
Look at Sean, who's basically dashing into their face right at the gates of their base, saying, "Come get me. I bet you can't kill me." And he's probably right.
Yeah, he
I don't
went
think
for the
anyone...
shield bow build as well. I think he's going since Reaper next, which might just be the most I aggressive Xin Zhao build I've ever seen. There's a good possibility that he thinks he's building Ezreal or something.
He's going for the
Not
Gangplank build.
he's going exact Gangplank is a better example. If he builds IE after this, then we should just let him put some barrels on the map or something because he's pretty much just cosplaying Gangplank.
Yeah, Gank Zhao here on the map. As Chovy Lover here, he gets caught by the Flay. Instant Galio ultimate going to be used. I don't know if that was a little too early. Rico Rodriguez here is going to take a lot of damage to the face, but actually, it looks like Royal is going to be put
No
to
flash.
sleep. Ooh, put a
Put a
ping ward
ward on
down.
the
Put a ping
lantern.
ward. Put a ward down. Oh my God! Why is no one putting
Aw.
a ward down? And now the lantern is going to be taken. Watch out here. Daniel might actually be getting solo killed here by Shrek. He's going to have to flash out of that last Yorick E. Excuse me. I have no clue what any of Yorick's abilities are.
No one does actually.
I know, the Maiden. I believe that's his ultimate. As he's just channeling right in the face of Sean, and Sean is like, "Nope, buddy, I ain't letting you do that." As he's just going to flash out of the swamp and take the kill. As the Maiden goes down, and boom, they're flashing their masteries. They deserved it. At this point, it's a massive stomp. We're pretty close to a perfect game. We're 1 kill and 1 Infernal Drake away from an absolutely perfect game when it comes to this eliminatory game for Weasel's Teasers.
Yeah. You remember in the first Shrek movie when Lord Flood sent all the fairy animals into the swamp and then Shrek tried to get them all out? I think I'm pretty sure Shrek's companion or Shrek's cousin and Sean are just confused about the plot of the movie because Sean keeps getting out of Shrek's swamp and killing Shrek for it, but now fight in the mid lane.
Oh, okay. Well, Harley picks up another kill as a Tactical Lover eats another death sentence. And at this point, Harley, if he was God Mob before, now I guess he's just... I don't even know. I'll let you find a wordplay because...
I'm running out of adjectives to describe how fed he is. Oh, look at another one.
Oh, there we go. Well, that's another death sentence to add to your bibliography as, Indy just gets taken down as now your bot lane and your jungle is collectively 0-16 and 0. So that's pretty rough as a Chovy Lover here finds the Vanguard's edge on 2 and he tries to turn it around, but he doesn't have the damage, and Harley with the killer instinct finds his 10th kill of the game.
Shout out to Shrek's cousin so far because in both of these games, obviously he didn't end up doing that well in the early there, but I would argue that was not necessarily a result of his mistakes. That was a result of his team being far behind. In this game, 1-2-0, we saw earlier he was able to 1v1 Daniel, so definitely a good performance by Shrek's cousin is what so far in this series.
Yeah, he's doing fine, honestly, on the Yorick at this point. It's just super rough. I mean, at this point in the game, what can you do as Chovy Lover and Shrek? It's hard. You have to find, a very specific pick. Someone has to make a very big blunder, and you have to find those extremely fat shutdowns now on Harley, Sean, and Murphy, actually. will they find them and save themselves from elimination is what I'm asking myself now.
I feel like we know the answer to that question, if I'm being honest, Nacho. This game pretty hard to come back from Weasel Teasers,
Oh
and
yeah,
getting harder by the second as Sean going aggressive.
absolutely. And it's not even like there's like some massive outscaling potential or anything like that. You don't exactly have a super hard scaling champion on Weasel's Teasers. You could argue that Tristana scales pretty well and a little better than Kaisa. But Kaisa scales just fine. And, you know, Cassiopeia, of course, on casually affirmed side, scales like an absolute monster. So it's rough, man. I don't...
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it best. It's rough, man. Even now, Sean building the GA.
Oh, come on. Rico Rodriguez, that's another death sentence. The drowsy is going to get to the sleep, but it's not enough as the killer instinct comes in and claims another kill for this 11-0 Kaisa. Is Daniel here? Might be a little caught as Chovy Lover finds his first kill and the second kill for Weasel's Teasers this game. Let's go, Weasel's Teasers!
Let's go.
Let's go. We got this. As a bit of a split pushing here, coming in from Shrek's cousin down here on the bot side as Murphy
Don't
throwing
hit
down the
this.
lantern. Oh,
I
that
would have
death
been
sentence
so
was
mad.
very close. And I don't know what you're talking about. I wouldn't have been mad. I would have been impressed and happy because Murphy is just that hard. Like he's just smurfing that hard, I guess.
No, but you'd have to be mad because that's clearly a robot playing for him. No human, like there was no vision for like a solid 15 or for a solid 10 seconds. As Chovy Lover getting caught out again, death
Oh,
sentence,
yeah.
another opportunity. Not gonna go, but even now, Shrek's cousin got 2 towers on the bot side, pushing the inhib tower, but he might have stayed a little bit longer than he could have. No, he's just gonna
Looks
walk
like,
out.
yeah, it looks like he'll be fine. That swamp protecting him for a second. As now they're 3-manning Baron, which honestly I think is the right call when you have a Kaisa that's this fed. The Baron is very easy to take. As it looks like they now have info that it is going down. The teleport will be coming through from Royal. Nope, excuse me, that is Daniel. As the Chovy Lover here, he's a bit caught out, and unfortunately will go down to Harley. That is 12-0 now, I believe. The flash hook from Murphy finds Indy. Not that it was, you know, particularly important to kill Indy or anything, but he finds it, and that's a pretty cool flash hook here. As Shrek here, he's putting down some pressure here in the mid lane, and he's actually going to teleport to the bot lane, which I think is the right call.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, we do not care about the 5v5. Let the Baron go down. Try to trade literally anything. That's how far behind you are at this point in the game. Any turret is salvation for you. As he's looking onto Royal here. Royal has his ultimate still. He's going to find the stun
No
there.
MR.
Shrek gets unfortunately stunned and miasmed under turret and is not going to find anything else. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if anyone from Landmark is watching, say your prayers because at this point I feel like Weasel's Teasers is going down.
Yeah, 28-2 might be the latest possible time you can call a game being over, but this is just about it. 12k gold league from CR. They have the Baron buff. They have the unbelievably fed Kaisa. They even just got some extra gold on the Cassiopeia. Murphy taking the scuttle grab for himself.
He deserves it.
Yeah, deciding once and for all that he is the one carrying. Smart move as a support player, that's definitely correct.
Murphy has more gold than Tactical Lover. I just want to say that.
That's the biggest field Batman I've ever seen.
That is, yeah, that is absolutely brutal. As Harley has 15k gold. He's just going to one-shot Rico
collected.
here. Yep.
That was literally an auto attack in the queue.
Yep. The tax collector came for your money, and you're now dead. As Chovy Lover here, he's getting run down. Yeah. This Kaisa is literally almost full build at 28 minutes.
Oof, this is looking what happened when I play DC, like for the other team, of course.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, it's just now a matter of slowly pushing down the towers. They see they have the mid and bot lane pushing. Top lane is still going against them, but it looks like Weasel is making a play mid lane that is not going to go well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've tried this play a few times where Trophy Lover goes in and they find that Galley ultimate. They've just not managing to find those engages at all. And now, Casually Reformed is knocking on Weasel's Teaser's base, as well as their hopes and dreams for these playoffs. As Indy, he tries to find an engage here. The stun and the taunt only finds one. Rico Rodriguez, he finds a 3-man sleep, but he instantly dies, and there's just no follow-up. They actually managed to find a kill onto Daniel, but that is pretty much it. And now the double kill for Harley, and that is another double kill for Royal, and Casually Reformed have come for your series and your spot in these playoffs as they claim game number 2.
Yeah, and they claim game 2 and the set, so that is going to be CR moving on to the arena next round. In the playoffs. Well played by CR. Unfortunately, that is going to be the end of Weasel Teasers. But honestly, I can say for Weasel Teasers, great job. I know a lot of teams with the record would have quit halfway through the season, but Weasel Teasers was consistently playing. They were consistently trying to improve. It didn't end up paying off in this set, but even still, I think we need to applaud Weasel Teasers for their persistence and their willingness to play and improve.
Absolutely. Kudos to them. And we hope to see a stronger Weasels Teasers in the summer, as we're just going to give this game back towards our desk.
Thank you,
All right.
Natural and Stefano. I think that you summarized it perfectly. That sentiment towards Weasel Teasers, putting up a good fight. And big congratulations to Casually Reformed to move on to the semifinals. And that will be up against George Foreman Grill, as Wes was saying earlier in the stream. I wouldn't call it a grudge match necessarily, but they are two teams that were neck and neck throughout the season. So that will be an exciting game to see next week.
One more time, big shout outs, big kudos to Weasel Teasers. We knew it would be an uphill battle the entire time. There's a big rank discrepancy. And like Stefano said, they were always working to improve. You could tell that they were going for adaptation. And, that's the kind of stuff we love to see here, even though they weren't able to get a win. It was really, really great to see them. And we loved having them in there. I loved having chat coming in and supporting our player to watch, Rico Rodriguez, as well as chat just in general, coming in with the support for Weasel Teasers. Bog talking about avenging them next week up against Casually Reformed. But speaking of which, Casually Reformed facing George Foreman Grill next weekend. And yeah, you just said it, Darren. These two teams are so evenly matched. They are so neck and neck here. And the matchup between them is always fascinating because they have such interesting, interactions between the players that, when they get onto Summoner's Rift. So really, really good stuff. Congrats to Casually Reformed for moving on. So yeah, we are going to get an interview in just a sec, but before then, we'll just kind of maybe break down a little bit more of what's going on with the playoffs here. As, of course, it was Joe's Big Biceps taking down Scoop City last night, and they're going to be facing Birds Aren't Real as well next weekend in the other semifinal match.
Yeah, that'll be a really interesting match as well. Joe's Big Biceps with the a bit of an upset yesterday, going up against the number 1 team in the league next week. I'm excited to see that one. I'm excited to see what how big Joe's biceps actually are, going up against some fake birds in the semifinals there. I maybe want to talk about George Foreman Grill and Casually Reformed and those matchups a little bit if we have a little bit of time before the interview comes in. The way I see it here, Casually Reformed's bot lane is arguably the best in the league.
Yep.
And that's not to say that Bog and Zizzers, they're no pushovers.
No
Like,
slouches, for sure.
Very, very good. But I think that George Foreman Grill, we're talking about the jungle matchup. How do you see that jungle matchup going?
Yeah, I mean that is going to be interesting to see. Sean is such a consistent jungler, so reliable into these games, and it's really interesting to see those two junglers face off. But I loved what I saw from Sean in this series. I've loved what seen from him so far in the season, and yeah, of course, the Bog Scissors duo down the bot lane facing up against Harley. That is going to be a big focus, and potentially we can see Cirrus come in with maybe some equalizing in the mid, because Cirrus is a very strong mid laner, probably has a bigger champion pool than Royal, and probably able to maybe get an advantage there. So yeah, I believe we are going to have Murphy coming in. They're just getting that sorted out and getting him into the waiting room. So hopefully we can chat a little bit with Murphy and see what he thinks of that matchup coming in here. But yeah, the playoffs it feels so good to be in playoffs, Darren, because I don't know, everything, even if we get a blowout, everything just feels a little bit higher stakes, a little bit more exciting. I love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're not messing around, they're not going into game 2 and picking troll picks or anything like that. They're playing to win, and that's always fun to watch. It's always something I'm not big into watching sports overall, but when I did watch a lot more hockey, it was like, man, like playoff hockey is so much more interesting because they play for keeps. They playing every single game is so intense, and I feel like we get a little bit of that in esports as well. Looks
All
like
right, we
maybe we
do
got
have
Murphy.
Murphy waiting. Yeah, so I'm going to move him
Great.
up. I'm going to get him right in here for an interview. Murphy, uh, congrats on the match, my friend, and great work there. Just make sure to unmute your mic before you start speaking. But how are you doing after that win? And more importantly, how are you doing looking forward to playing against GFG next week? And looks like in Discord your mic is still muted, so make sure you get that. Maybe I might have to um, do
Oh, I
that
think
for you. Just
I
a
think
sec.
he's unmuted now. Go ahead.
There we go.
Well, he's
Good
unmuted
talk.
in
Good talk.
Discord. That's Stefano. That's not Murphy talking, by the
Yes.
way.
Still not hearing you, but we will wait to get that sorted out. And once Murphy does manage to get in here, we'll talk about that. But yeah, Stefano's in here, piping up, just overstepping his bounds a little bit. But hey, why not, right?
Being a
What
nuisance.
being a nuisance. And Murphy, just speak up whenever you've got your stuff sorted out, and we'll have a little chat with you. But for now, Stefano, since you're here, since you've
Yeah.
showed up in this discussion, what do you think about the matchup next week in terms of Joe's big biceps up against Birds Aren't Real? Do you think the Kings can possibly be dethroned here?
You know what? I am excited that I took up cooking recently because that matchup is about to be spicy. I absolutely think that they can that Joe's big biceps can take it off of Birds Are Real or vice versa. Both teams have been shown to be very confident, and more importantly, both teams have been able to show that they can surprise us. Um, Not necessarily with the picks for both teams, but I there's been a lot of situations where I'm very confident the other team is going to win, and then Joe's big bicep shows up and they're able to stomp it out. They always have a way of finding wins when I personally don't think they can. So I'm really looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
it's going to be really really interesting to see that matchup and see if Joe's big biceps can have a true underdog story and win that game next week. But maybe we have Murphy now. Murphy, how you doing?
Just give me a sec. I might be able to fix this, folks. I might be able to do it. Keep going on that while
As per
while I
usual,
fix
it's
this. Just stick
Wes's
around,
fault.
Murphy. My fault
Yeah.
once again. My bad. Just give me a sec here.
Everyone in chat, remember, whatever happens, if your favorite team doesn't win, it's probably Wes's fault.
Yeah.
Uh,
When in doubt.
yeah, blame
Yeah.
Wes.
Yeah.
Give it one more try there, Murphy, and we'll see if we can get. No, still no.
Some technical
All right, might
difficulties.
be an input issue or something like that.
I mean, I
We
can just
will.
compliment Murphy on his Thresh play. While
Yeah.
he can hear us probably. I'm a Thresh
Yeah.
main, basically. I'm support main, but I play Thresh most. And man, some of those flays that when you flay a Tristana out of a jump like that, you had some ridiculously good ones in this game. That's so satisfying. Really, really well played. I really love watching your Thresh play.
Okay. I think
You
I got
can
this
just-
figured out. Sorry, folks. This is totally my fault. I'm pretty sure it is my fault anyway, unless if there's another issue. But I think I have a fix here, and very professional broadcast. We're all volunteers here, folks.
Hey, if you don't like it, you can pay us. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Stefano, maybe
One.
what do you think of the George Foreman grill versus Casual Reform next week?
I'm pretty excited for that. Honestly, it should be rather spicy as well. I definitely think that I'm my current bet
Oh,
is
Oh,
Oh,
there we go. I think we got you.
my bad. I got
hey.
it. I
stop
got it.
talking.
It
There he
is.
is.
I
My
have
bad
figured
on
it
that
out.
one.
Voice
All
of
right.
No, that
Murphy.
was on
Nice
my
out
end.
there, Kieran.
All right, we have got it. Regardless of whose fault it was, we got it figured out, and definitely we have to assign some blame to you, Murphy, for what
Oh,
just
for
happened in
sure.
that
For
series.
sure.
For what just happened in that series in the bot lane, because you and Harley have been tearing through all these bot lanes, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit. Now I know that you definitely got the better of Weasel Teasers, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit more broadly about kind of the way you approach bot lane. We were talking on the casters. Were talking about you being the true carry of the team. How do you feel about that statement? Do you think that
Well,
you are the one to activate Harley?
I appreciate it very much because I feel like, as I'm sure you guys know, supports don't usually get as much credit as they feel they should.
Mhm.
So it's nice to get a bit of recognition. And I don't know. I think I like to carry Harley through the early game, and he definitely knows what to do once he gets those kills. So it's a bit of a trade off there. I like to think of it as.
When you guys
Trade-off.
you play so well together. You seem to be on the same page all the time. Do you guys duo queue a lot as well?
Oh yeah, we've been
Yeah.
playing together for like 6 years now or something. Not always in the bot lane, but like we've been playing together for a long time. Then we started playing bot lane and kind of realized, hey, we're not all that bad at this. Like maybe we should run with this, and we've been doing that, and it's been going obviously pretty well for us.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, moving on in the playoffs, you are facing George Foreman Grill next week, and it's been a very much of a battle between the two of you in terms of those teams. Can you tell us anything about adaptations or how you're approaching that matchup and how you're preparing for it?
I think we're just gonna have to play a lot more slow and a lot obviously safer than we did these couple games.
Right.
But we're really just focused on making the right plays, not overstepping a lot, and hopefully trying to. And obviously, me and Harley, we play pretty aggressive and hoping to not get too caught out like we have sometimes. And then hoping to maybe get some of the other lanes ahead and not have to rely so much on us would be nice.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. When you play so aggressively, it doesn't always work out when the other team can you match you mechanically. So that makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. Yeah. Is sorry, I'm just gonna nerd out on Thresh here a little bit. Is Thresh your main? Like, do you when you see Thresh not get banned, is it just like, yeah, man, I'm in?
Thresh is just such a comfort pick for me
Yeah.
that it's just like such a safe pick. If I have nothing else to play, I might as well play that. And especially against something like a Galio Tristana where I know I can flay them out of anything they try, it's pretty hard not to pick it.
Well, before we let you go, I'll just ask you one more thing. And now that, Scoop City and Dinsbag have been eliminated from the tournament, we are severely lacking in diss tracks and smack talk. So I want to get your prediction for next week. Are you going to be able to take down George Foreman Grill?
Well, I mean, what else am I supposed to say? Of course we're going to.
I set you up for that one, didn't I?
Yeah, I mean, what am I going to say? No, me and Harley aren't going to go crazy in the bot lane? Of course we are. But
All right.
yeah.
Well, look out for that George Foreman Grill. Murphy, thank you so much. Congrats on the win and for advancing to semifinals, and
Thank
good
you
luck
very
next
much.
weekend, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you guys have yourselves a good night.
You too.
Cheers, you too, bro.
Thank
See
you.
you next week.
Yeah, see ya.
All right.
Awesome.
Well-
Voice of Murphy coming in finally like an angel.
Yeah, man, it's really exciting. The what we've got set up here. A couple of very exciting matches. Joe's Big Biceps in particular going up against Birds Aren't Real. Now, Birds Aren't Real are are a dominant team. That's for sure. It is very hard to beat them. Kingsland is such a great, sort of captain of the ship and really, really organizes his team well. They've always come in with a really great approach, but I like what I've been seeing from Casually Reformed. They always pick a comp that's easy to execute. They always go for, they know who their carries are. They know exactly where they want to go for the game. So I'm excited to see what Casually Reformed can bring. They're sort of a vintage team, players like Royal and Sean have been around since the beginning. So really excited to see Casually Reformed to get this far and improve throughout the years and throughout this league here. So yeah, them against George Foreman Grill is going to be a banger next weekend.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I don't know exactly which one is on which day. Do you know that, Wes? Are we?
I'll quickly check for you, but we're gonna make sure just that everybody's available for those. So
Right, of
we
course.
will announce those very, very soon. I'll just quickly check on those. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Sunday the 23rd is going to be the Joe's Big Biceps versus Birds Aren't Real game, and that means Saturday is going to be George Foreman Grill versus Casually Reformed. That is subject to change, though. That is just that is in the making. So look out for that. It's definitely happening next weekend.
Yeah, either way, we will definitely see you here on the stream next weekend. Unless, Wes, you have a few more things to say, I think that we can
I'm
probably
good, man.
wrap the stream up. Beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and watching tonight. Thank you to Natural and Funky D Stefano on the casting casting the game. Thank you, Wes, for joining me on the analyst desk. Always a pleasure. And to everyone else, stay safe, stay salty. Good night.